Hello, it is I, Cat Crafter the Cat Who Crafts, and welcome to the second ever speed build on this channel, inspired by the first ever speed build that we did on this channel, which was a build of my childhood dollhouse. I'm gonna spill some tea right here and now about that dollhouse. I was looking it up for the sake of this video, sake of this edit. When I was looking it up, I saw different versions of this one because I searched specifically Fisher Price 2000 playhouse or dollhouse because that's like when I grew up. It's what I remember. And this also actually came up on my TikTok as well. There's another version of this dollhouse that looks almost the exact same, but it has a different, like, family, quote unquote, I'm gonna say. It is the family that I remember having was like 2 parents and a baby, which is what this house is gonna inevitably be inspired around. But when I was looking it up, I saw 2 adults, a baby, like, oh no, so not a baby, a child, and 2 babies, like twins. And it's not what I had. I think in the last video, in the last speed build, I found an actual photo of the one that I had. But I can't find it now. The internet is something. Anyway, I also discovered that there are other versions of this one, and obviously, Fisher Price is a massive fucking company, especially in the 2000s, so they were like pumping shit out. And so, you know, by the time I don't know where I was going with that, but by the time, you know, by the time we grew up, there's like so many versions. By the time we grew out of the dollhouse era, there was a lot of versions. But I found some with like different furniture, some that had like hidden rooms, some that had extra rooms, like, it's crazy. But this one I have based mostly on the dollhouse that I had. So we have like a round window. I tried to do extra long edges, but because that roof was a bit too tall, it didn't work out. The layout is kind of based on the dollhouse as well. Like, we've got the stairs on the left. Tried to kind of make it curved, didn't work out. Which, by the way, we're gonna have some major cuts for the floor planning, because floor planning did not work out for me at all. It took me some time, and now I know this is a long video, but trust me, it was just a bit longer, with the floor planning included. I did include me placing down some like basic furniture, like placehold furniture, because that's just how my brain works. But the actual floor plan itself, you'll see some major cuts because it just took me forever. But basically, at least the downstairs has the same kind of a floor plan, where the kitchen is, if you're looking from technically the back of the house, the kitchen is on the right. There will eventually, like right now, be a circular window, and the bathroom and the laundry, which I've not included in my builds for a very long time, is on the left hand side, technically under the stairs in the build, but it's kind of hard in this one. But yeah, we've taken inspiration. The upstairs is very different. The upstairs is quite small as well. I was initially thinking we have 3 levels because I wanted to include that technically attic that's in that room. It's really annoying building in Sims 4 sometimes, and I'm sure there's a way I could have gone around this, but I couldn't be bothered just messing around with the roofs because they can get very annoying. But in the dollhouse, and you can see it in the first speed build too, in the dollhouse there is an attic space where the windows, you can see through the windows, and you can see I've put those windows in. But in The Sims 4, because the way fucking roofs work, I wasn't able to put that like window in. Oh, I put the windows in, but you can't see through those windows because it is not technically a part of the room. And I did try when I initially built this before the recording to do that, but because the windows were too small for the room, they weren't able, the room would be like sticking out, and just it didn't make sense. So that room technically has no windows, and I was gonna make like the baby's room or something up there, but it ended up just becoming a study because no child should have a room with no windows. So it's just essentially just an attic, a study sort of vibe, like the junk room where everything just gets thrown into when you're not using it. But that being said, right now we are working on the backyard, as you can tell. I did initially jump from place to place, and it's just how my brain works. I started with the outside with the actual build itself, and then I went to the inside, and then it was like, oh wait, but I need to figure out the inside in order to get rid of the rest of the outside. And then I finally moved back to the outside. And initially I was kind of going for like a neutral tone. Actually, this bit where I have the gravel reminds me of my auntie's house because she had gravel gardens and I was obsessed with it. I remember me and my cousins would just play with the gravel, play with the stones, the pebbles, and we would get in trouble sometimes because we would like play with the rocks, but we were just not supposed to. We would be like, hey, we dig the rocks out, but no, obviously not. So that just reminded me of my auntie's place, which they sold that house back, actually funnily enough, back when this game came out. And so I think the house is very different and doesn't have that now, but that's okay. That being said, it started looking off fairly neutral, but I wanted to add some like playthings from the kids for when the kid grows up, because right now I've put like a bassinet to simulate like the fact that the kid is a baby. So, but I made a room for them. I've made this outside so that the baby can grow up with the house can grow up with the baby. That's the way. So it's kind of just friendly for all ages. But I have made some outside my words have just completely gone all around, and I'm not doing this recording again. But yes, so the house is growing up with the child. I had to include a clothesline. Now I wish I could include I'm forgetting what they're called. I was gonna say Lazy Susan. That's the table thing. I would love to have included the like Aussie clothesline that goes around, but I couldn't because it's not in the game, so I just added a regular clothesline because I feel like that's very, very Aussie, very, I'm gonna say 2000s, but you know, I did make a washer dryer. Like there is a washer and a dryer in this build, but I remember again another auntie of mine had a dryer when we were a kid. We were kids, and she obviously we'd use the dryer, but it was mainly the clothesline that we used. So it's in between. You know, the family can use the clothesline or the dryer, whatever. It is in Newcrest, this house. So weather depends. Also, these planters, I have not done anything like this ever, surprisingly. I'll be honest, when I build, I don't put a lot of effort in my builds because I get so bored and tired. But this one, I locked the fuck in. So I actually added some like quite a bit of plants. I added some stones. I like sized down some things. I hit my mic. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I didn't know stone, like making it little. I was initially gonna put in some like debug actual like plants that you can water. I was like, no, like it's by a pool. You're not gonna maintain a garden near a pool. Like you technically are, but like not in the Sims, right? So I was like, I just put some flowers, make it like colorful. Because I see another thing with the 2000s I remember, and I come back to this, I believe, whilst I'm doing landscaping. But another thing I remember with 2000s is just color being everywhere. There's a lot of color. So I tried to, despite having this yellow and blue kind of colorway of going, I did on the outside want to introduce a lot of color, a lot of brightness, and so that's when I go and fix things and I bring that color back in. But anyway, we're in the inside, I think. I hope I don't remember my build. I was initially going to do this right after my build, but I built for like 4 hours, and then it's been like a couple of weeks because things get busy. So like I remember the build, but I don't remember the build, you know? No, okay, we are working on the inside. This, oh my god, I think this was one of my favorite rooms. It is the playroom. Now I grew up as an only child, so I'm guilty of having a playroom in both of our houses. So we had a house when I was little, and then we moved when I was about 5 to our current place. And I will say some of that inspiration has come through, like some of the inspiration from the old house and some of the inspiration from the current house has come through with this build. Because like those countertops, those benches, that's basically the bench we have now in my mom's house. Like that is specifically like, I don't know what the bench top is, but it has that texture, it has a feel where it's not quite like stone. It's not stone. But yeah. Oh my god, this thing that I tried doing just before. I had an idea, because I was like, oh, we're doing open concept, like this fun little island would be so fun. It just wasn't working out. I was like, all enclosed, but then I was like, no, I want this like little thing that I have going. I don't know. It didn't work out, but it did at the same time. It looks good. It looks good. I'll give it that. I don't know. Here's where the color comes in. So I added the plum bobs. It took me a bit because I wanted to find the same kind of tones for the seats. I believe I went back and changed that. I don't remember now. But I wanted to like have it be colorful, added a bit more color to the picnic area, changed out the barbecue to be something like we had, and yeah. So like I said, as I was saying, anyway, before I got distracted, this house is taking inspiration from our old house and our current house. I wasn't saying new house, but it is the house that my mum and I guess technically I have lived for like almost 20 years. God, that's crazy. We've been living in that house for almost 20 years. It becomes like 20 years in 2 years. Oh my god. Oh, that's crazy. But like, so the thing with the old house is very like 90s, 2000s, because that's kind of when my parents moved into that house. And then the new house, quote unquote, the 20-year-old new house, became that like late 2000s kind of aesthetic, but you still had that like 90s, early 2000s inspo. but then some of the late 2000s like glass and wood tones kind of come together sort of stuff. I don't know how to describe it, but that futuristic sort of vibe. I don't know. But that being said, with the wood tones here, Sims 4, and they're not matching wood tones. The unmatched wood tones. Oh my god. This annoyed me to like my wit's end, because I was trying to find this, like, I was trying to find the perfect dining table, the perfect like little end pieces for this quote unquote small dining room, but nothing matched. I wanted that orangey beigey wood tone that we have in the corner, which actually I was looking through the shelves and like the furniture, and I found that wood like corner piece. One of my aunties had that in her old house, and I was like, oh my god, I need this. She had it, technically it was built in for her, so it was built into that corner, but I remember like that corner of the house specifically, like, oh, it held so many memories. It held all of like the younger cousins, my nonna, my grandparents, and like their children. So it just held a lot of memory for like our family, and I'm sure we've had like a few incidents surrounding that corner because, you know, we're kids. But yeah, so that's why I had to include that, and then obviously I had to match things and add those different wood tones. Oh my god, even you look at the same pack sometimes, and even those wood tones are different, and it's why. I'm glad that they're fixing this up. Like, I know we had that wood update that matched all of the base game wood tones almost, for like windows and doors and stuff, which I really appreciate that, but going through old packs and seeing that things don't match, oh my god. Oh my god, this couch. Okay, so this was taking inspiration from our current place. When we first moved in, we had a shaggy carpet, red shaggy carpet. My mum had a thing for like red accents, so we had quite a few like red accents, including this red shaggy carpet, and I was like, oh my god, I have to include that. But also, within the last like few years, I think it was like 2021, maybe 2022, I redid our spare room, which is essentially just our garage, and I had this I had a couch that we had from our old house, and it was like basically that. He was old, so the couch, like the cushions fell in. My cat was obsessed with like sitting out there. I wanted that. Our couch was technically like a beige and green, and I'm going for a yellow and blue theme. So it wasn't quite perfect, but it worked out. The love seat I don't quite like, but it had the matching blue, and I'll take it. The glass cabinets, not cabinets, the square table, the end table, and the I was gonna say the middle table. The coffee table, that's what it is. That is what like I was inspired by my mum's, like the current place, because we have a glass coffee table from when we like moved in. We also have the CRT TV. Obviously I had to include that. I've included some other like 2000 nods in terms of furniture, but we'll come back to that. Again, the kids room, my favorite. I wanted all kinds of color in here. Those like pillow. Those the puzzle like floor pieces. I can imagine like the squishiness. I can feel that like play mat texture, and I wanted that. I was obsessed with that. It reminds me of my childhood again, which is the whole point in this build is just to kind of throwback. It's inspired. It's not quite exact, but you know, the fucking ball pit. I remember thinking, my producer's like, yeah, let's just make this room like a ball pit. Oof. There was a play place near my mom's place that I was obsessed with. I loved their ball pit specifically. There was also another place fairly like not too close from us that had one of those like, I'm gonna say ball pits, but it was an area. Actually, no, it wasn't a ball pit because it had foam balls, and you were able to put like the foam balls into this like vacuum suction thing. I don't know how best to describe it, in the middle, and then every like now and again, or like you'd be able to press a button or something and shoot out all of the foam balls. That was actually one of my favorite play places. But having said, the one close to us, like I remember so vividly going in the foam, like the ball pit, finding my cousin. Actually, me and my cousin had our like birthday parties. I think it was my 5th and her 3rd birthday party there, and she loves telling the story of how there was two chairs, and I stole the fairy chair from her. Obviously, I'm the older cousin, so as I should. As I deserve. Also, it was my 5th birthday, and I love fairies more. It was also purple. I have a photo of it somewhere, but too bad you guys aren't seeing. Anyway, but yes, this is the bathroom / laundry. The laundry is a little bit more modern than I wanted to, because I was really thinking, again, back to like my auntie's her dryer, but we only have one set of washer and dryer in this game. Maybe if we're playing in The Sims 3, but my PC just doesn't like Sims 3, so alas. We stick to The Sims 4. Also, I will admit, The Sims 4 obsession just keeps like coming back ever so slight. I started a new generation. I've been playing the very veggie legacy challenge, and I started a new generation on that, and I was on the way home. It was literally today. I was on the way home from town, and I was thinking about my storyline for that legacy, because I started the 2nd gen. I already have plans for my 3rd gen. Really bad. I love creating storylines. I managed to get to 10 generations of one save. I swore that I would touch it again, but I haven't, and I don't think I will. But it essentially started, I had an Instagram page, started on that Instagram page, and then I just kept playing it, and it became a save that I play every time like a new pack would come out, essentially. Sometimes I'd skip generations because I get bored. I was like playing one pack at a time, but I'd take photos and I'd kind of like make a memory album, which I have to go through that again. But I'm a legacy player. I tend to play with the same saves unless the freaking save corrupts. I don't know what happened, but I was playing, me and my cousin were playing the Not So Berry Legacy Challenge together before, you know, the very veggie before the very veggie Legacy Challenge. But we were playing that together, and for some reason I got to my 3rd generation, which is the furthest, I'll be honest, it's the furthest I have ever gotten in that legacy. I have gotten to Rose, but I had never completed Rose, and so the fact that I had gotten to this 3rd generation, I was so excited. And then I got hit with a bug that I had never seen before, and from googling it, apparently it was to do with putting lots from the gallery on your like in your save, which is strange because I had put, you know, things in my save from the gallery beforehand, but it just all of a sudden triggered it. I don't know, Sims 4 is weird sometimes. But the bug is essentially if I press play in my game, time passes, but my Sims don't do anything, and they don't do anything until I pause, and then the time resets back to where they unpaused, and then I press play again and they stop. It was such an annoying bug. I didn't know how to fix it. I looked it up and essentially like I just gave up. I tried again fairly recently, but it had gone to that point where I had started that generation over so many times. I was just like, I can't. I know what I want to do. I know where I got up to. I just couldn't. So I started yet another legacy challenge, which I'm hoping I can continue. I'm like trying so hard not to like download anything from the gallery, which, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues on my PC because my not so very legacy was played on my laptop, which has had a few issues with The Sims 4 in the past. But I still play that game on there. But I haven't had too many issues with my PC. It just gets like sometimes a bit laggy. Sometimes like it tries to crash out on me, but it's fine. It's strange. Anyway, yeah, we'll see how I go with that. But that being said, back to our speed build. This bedroom was kind of inspired by my own bedroom. I had a purple bedroom growing up. I still have a purple bedroom at my mom's house. It has always been purple. It will never change. And I remember when I was little, I had this one round rug. It was a purple and pink round rug. And it was also a very small bedroom. So it was kind of playing with that like bright colors, but still color coordinated sort of vibes. I think the furniture was a little bit off. Like, I think I should change that changing table, but it is what it is. It's done, and I've already uploaded this to the gallery. So we take what we can get, you know. Oh my god, the beads! The beads! I was going through the sculpture things, and you'll see me like kind of going up and down and figuring out, oh my god, I changed up the lights. We got the boob lights in. Which I remember, like, I think even the spare room at my mom's house technically has a boob light out back, but we don't have a top one because I kept changing out the light bulb when I was redoing the back room. We have some boob lights. Actually, we don't have any down lights. I don't think that was a thing until like the late 2000s, because we moved in that place. Actually, no, we moved in about like 2000s, but we didn't obviously do anything to the house before we moved in, or after we moved in. So we have some like, we have a hanging light in the lounge room. We've got fan lights. We've always had fans in our room because we live in fucking Australia, so we need something for the summer. And we only have one aircon, which is in the lounge room. And then our kitchen, they tried to modernize it at that point in time, and they have posable lights. That's the best way I can describe it, because like, it's the kind of lights where they like face one direction, and the light specifically like shines in that one direction. It doesn't like fill up that whole room. So that's the kind of lights we have. Oh my god, it's my favorite room. We're up to my favorite room, chat. Why did I say chat? We're up to the office, the spare room. It is where the computer resides. The forbidden computer, where you can only touch for like if someone's in the presence of you, but it's upstairs, so you're not allowed. But you can see where my inspiration light here. So I was also, I was taking inspiration from my auntie's house because she had a very 2000s, like 90s, late 90s, early 2000s kind of styled house. In her study, which we would go into occasionally, we weren't supposed to, but we would go into, especially when we wanted internet when we got older. But she had like the round desk table where the like curve, and then she had the like her computer. And I was trying to recreate that, but it didn't work out because obviously it's The Sims 4. We're not gonna get that. So we have like the one home computer in that corner with the old vibes. We got a foosball table because I remember being obsessed with that as a kid. We've got some pets. We've got the bowl, the fish bowl, and a hamster that probably shouldn't be there, but you know, it's where the pet is, it's where the fish is. But yes, I think we're about to come to the end. I think that's just kind of like the finishing touches that we're about to do. So just got a basic bathroom. I was coming to the end of this and I was just like, I just want to get this bathroom done. So I just placed things. I was like, I'll put some posters, which doesn't make sense. I don't know why you'd put posters up in the bathroom, but it's a spare bathroom. I guess you kind of chuck anything you want in there. And some plants and other things. I don't know. I'm good at making monochrome builds, but that's it. It's like the one color. Like switching between the color is kind of hard for me. So it's a lot of blue, less yellow. I'm trying to add some yellow accents. I do add all of the curtains towards the end, which I think is literally what we're coming up to. I saw these and I was like, this is perfect for downstairs. I just feel like we had something like this at our house. I wanted these, like specifically these whole curtains. I fit the vibe perfectly and I have memories of these big ass fucking curtains, but just nothing really fit except for that. We also got some of the like the shutters. I don't know, coming in. I don't know how to best describe that. We also have some of that in my mom's current place. There was like a whole bunch of mix of different things. But anyway, I am going to end this voiceover here and hand you over to live tour Charlie as we finish up the curtains. So I will see you there. I hope you enjoyed my yapping. I do enjoy a good yapping. A distracted yap at that. Welcome to the human blobby household. With human blobby who's kind of disturbing, but I kind of love them for that. Anyway, beside the point, this is the finished build. I did add some things afterwards because I realized after this big build I've forgotten. So we have these railings on top, just so it's not like it's not just there. We have that little extra thing that you can see on top. The top is boring, however, but you're not gonna see it. You're just gonna see it when you look at like this, okay? It's fine. And we did also add the dirt. That's what it's called. I did add dirt afterwards because I realized I had forgotten that, and I'm not getting away with having dirtless plants. Anyway, so the house, we have our lovely entrance, we have the kitchen, followed by our mismatched dining room, which I actually kind of adore, and of course our mismatched living room with a little colorful fishy spot for the baby. And then for when the baby grows up, we have a playroom for them. And I did add, because I realized I forgot this afterwards, I also did add some radiators, which can be used in winter, because I felt like that was a very 2000s thing to have. I don't know, I just remember having going to houses with radiators, and it was until fairly recently that a lot of houses had actual heating AC, We did also have like a different kind of heater, like the electric heaters, but we don't have that in The Sims 4, so we make do. And I've put that in every room. We've got our 2000s technology up here too. We've got the bathroom just here. Small. She's skinny, she's small, but she makes a statement. We've got our laundry out here as well, where Blobby has tested it out, make sure it's okay. We've got our colourful backyard with our lovely barbecue area where we can socialize. Of course, we've got an extra gnome out here, and the pool, of course, which I just realized I didn't add any pool decorations, which I will add for again and re-upload to the gallery, because kind of needed some ways in and some pool fun. And a little play area for when the baby grows up, and of course yet another protector gnome. Gnomes are just cool, okay? And then we come up to the hallway. I love me the beige and the blue. I hate to admit it, I do kind of love it. It just gives me that feeling. It gives a nostalgic feeling. We've got the baby's bedroom for when they grow up. And then the master bedroom with the baby's bassinet and the master bathroom. Again, that brown beige colors. And then, of course, up here we have Blobby and their foosball with the 2000s computer, the pets that probably shouldn't be up here, but they are, some spare things that just happen to be around, and the weird science bathroom that is just there. It's just there. And of course, I forgot about the balcony outside. Again, for when the child grows up, they can use that for school stuff. But that is the finished house. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, chat. Why did I say that?